Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Oh, look at that now. You're making Gotham great again, folks, by watching this show and not listening to the nonsense that is on the corporate media. And then you all are out there as political vigilantes sending me information like this. I talk about the environment. I vowed to do at least one video a week about the environment and climate change. Here we go. Scientists created a new sponge that could clean up oil spills. This came out back in December. This is significant because oil spills are pretty awful, especially with fracking, makes it even worse. Now, the long-term goal, we all know, is to be off of oil completely, a real Green New Deal. But we got to clean up this mess that's happened. Right? I did a video on how algae is pulling CO2 out of the air at 400 times the rate of trees. We found researchers in Europe have created a soil bacteria that pulls methane out of the soil. Stands to reason they could figure out how it could pull it out of the air if they were given enough money and research, which would be part of a Green New Deal. So here's what they found. The secret to cleaning up contaminated water may lie in the cheap common polyurethane foam used in mattresses. Scientists tested the ability of the material enhanced with a special coating to soak up tiny droplets of oil suspended in water. They found that it consistently captured almost all of the oil in under 3 hours. Yes, polyurethane, not great. But here's the thing. As we get off of, if we truly are done with oil, off of it, the whole planet by 2030, Bernie Sanders gets elected and enacts a real Green New Deal, which he would be able to do because he would have a completely progressive cabinet. You would have more progressive people in Congress and Senate. He would absolutely be able to do it. So cleaning up would have to be a big part of it, like the Deepwater Horizons incident. To the thousands of smaller spills that occur each year, to the more than 100 billion barrels of toxic wastewater produced annually from fracking. So yeah, first and foremost, we need to ban fracking. Trump's not doing it. Obama didn't do it. Bush didn't do it. It's awful. It is awful. I've said we need a pipeline network of water pipelines in America, not oil and gas pipelines. The Keystone one just spilt 300-some thousand barrels of oil in one of the Dakotas several months back. So we need to get off of it altogether. But finding stuff like this that can clean it up is important. It is important because that'll be a part of the Green New Deal. And again, you put real money behind it, it can happen on a mass scale. And there's also a lot of jobs in there. Having this economically affordable technology will help us reduce the environmental impact, produce clean water, and also recover these resources. This recovered oil will have some value to it. So that's what they've done in their study. Not only are they getting the oil out of there, then it's oil that is reusable. So it's better to use that oil as we transition. Let me put it to you this way. Let's say we just stop. We're not drilling any more oil. So we've got to use the oil that we've got as we transition to a complete green economy. And what if some of the oil that we're using is recovered from the oceans? Now, granted, we all know burning oil is bad, and I'm not saying, yay, we can burn more oil. I'm saying part of the transition, because we can't just go stop, it's done. That would be, we have to be able to transition. Bernie has the boldest Green New Deal of any of the candidates that I've seen. This would be part of that. Because what happens, you clean up all the oil from an oil spill. Okay, we stop fracking, we stop drilling, we do all that, but there's still all this oil in the environment. And so what do? We clean it up. Some of it, then we could actually use rather than drilling new oil. Do you see like how that would work? Because let's talk about fracking. It involves pumping millions of gallons of chemical-laden water deep into the ground. The water opens up, cracks in the rock, letting oil and gas seep out. Then it returns to the surface more toxic than before. That sounds great. And there's no good way to clean it up. There's no good. If you get one takeaway from this video, it's we need to ban fracking and get off of oil. So there's that for starters. But until we get that done overwhelmingly, we have to be able to clean it up. Because right now, companies will inject deep underground if the state law allows. The EPA is considering letting companies start discharging it into the waterways. Oh, awesome. Right on. See what happens when the Democratic Party runs a centrist and cheats in 2016, and after 8 years of a neoliberal centrist that increases from 2 wars to 7, increased pipelines and fracking, that was Obama. Opened up the Arctic to drilling twice, that was Obama. Said, oh, the water's fine in Flint, Michigan. Let Standing Rock, he goes, let's just see how this will play out. That's what Obama said. Let's just see how cops and Tiger Swan, which is a private security firm used in the Middle East to quell terrorism, was used against American citizens. Obama just let that play out. So that's the EPA. He could have passed the strictest regulations in the 8 years. When he had control of the House and the Senate, he could have passed one regulation after another. Instead, he did barely anything. And then the Democratic Party cheats. The Podesta emails show that they cheated Bernie, a real progressive. So then we got Trump, who just packed his cabinet full of climate change deniers, who all get money from the oil lobby. When you deny climate change, you are helping the multi-billion-dollar propaganda campaign funded by the fossil fuel industry. So you either work for the oil lobby when you say climate change isn't real, or you are an unknowing puppet of them. So I just want to show you the bigger picture on all this. So the EPA is considering just letting them dump contaminated water into our waterways. But keep telling me climate change isn't happening. It's fine. This is fine then. So there's no climate change, so then you're okay? So if climate change is a hoax, but this is okay? Is contaminated water from fracking a hoax? No, it's not. Get your head out of your ass. It gets moved into storage tanks, contaminated water from fracking, or ponds, and sits there. You know, where you go fishing or your kids play. Guess what, climate change deniers? It contaminates your kids too. You can say it doesn't exist, but it's happening. It's contaminating. It doesn't matter. Contaminated water is contaminated water. There is technology capable of remedying this water, but it's too energy intensive and expensive to be used at scale. Again, the solution needs money and research to be produced on a mass scale. That's what a Green New Deal does. It puts a bunch of Americans to work. So if you don't believe in climate change, are you against a bunch of good union jobs in America? Cleaning up the country and the planet? Are you opposed to that? Or have you been drinking so much oil lobby Kool-Aid that you can't think straight? The Oleo sponge was designed to attract oil, repel water, and be wrung out so that it can be reused. Oleo has already proven itself in the lab, again in the largest oil spill response test facility in North America, and they also just use it off the coast here in California. The two scientists that were involved in the study, Darling and Chirukapalli, are looking beyond oil and exploring ways to adapt their sponges to clean up other pollutants in the water. Because if the oceans die, life on planet Earth will be done in less than 5 years, right? So there's 5 islands of floating garbage. Most of it is plastics. Anytime you drink a plastic bottle, if it's not recycled, that's why we got to get off of plastic, which are petroleum-based. See this? See those plastics that are compostable, that are plant-based plastics? A lot of stores sell them now. So that's how this is just one little piece of how the Green New Deal, within a Green New Deal, it does so many things. It helps wages. It helps the economy, because we have a consumer economy. So if a large number, 50 to 100 million Americans are now working, not driving for Uber and Grubhub and barely getting by, but making good union wages with good union benefits, making green energy and working on research and stuff like this. Think of all the jobs just this plan would create. If everybody's got good jobs, then everyone's economy does better. You're like, Graham, how's the Green New Deal going to help me? I run a restaurant, or I do daycare, or I'm a auto repair guy. How's that going to help me? Everyone will have money to come into your restaurant, to buy your products, whatever it is, because when everyone's making decent money, there's more money infused into the economy. So the Green New Deal helps inequities, wage inequities, discrimination. It helps all that. If everybody's getting jobs, there's a federal jobs guarantee, and UBI is a part of that. It can make everything better and save the planet and put Americans to work doing it. So folks, that's the show. That's why you've come here to The Political Vigilante. Like, share, subscribe. Come see Ron Placone and I on the road. We're in San Francisco, February 29th, Progressive Comedy Tour, and we're in Florida in March. Get your tickets at GrahamElwood.com. Thank you so much for watching.